Hey there, guys. In this video, we're going to take a look at our fourth lesson in Unit 3, looking at our integer exponents and power rule part 2. So going over to the review slide and taking a look, they give us the two cases that we could be working with. So they could give us something like a times b to the nth power, and that can be rewritten as a to the n times b to the n. So if you're looking at a number example, we can have something like 2 times 3 to the third power is equal to 2 to the third times 3 to the third. So they're distributing because there's multiplication, and this only works when there's multiplication or division. We can distribute that 3 to the exponents of the 2 and the 3, because remember the exponent that each of those have is 1, so it can be written as 2 to the third times 3 to the third. They could have started out a little bit further on this side and just have had it be 6 to the third and then ask you to split it up from there. And they'll usually at least give you one of those numbers and tell you something like 6 to the third is equal to 2 to the third times what? And you would have to come up with 3 to the third. But we'll do at least one of those together. The other situation that we could have is we could have a to the x times b to the y to the nth exponent. And then you would just take that nth exponent and distribute it to everything on the inside. So there's really not a huge difference between these two, other than the exponents here to start with were 1. And then here they're saying that they could be anything that you could, like any number there. So for an example, you could have 2x to the third times y to the third, or sorry, y to the second, the whole thing to the third power. And then that 3, because there's multiplication here, it's 2 times x times y. We could distribute that to the third exponent here to all of the other exponents on the inside. And don't forget about those numbers out in front. Those numbers out in front have exponents too. So that's why everything here is being multiplied by the 3. And then that would be the answer simplified. So let's go ahead and try a couple of those out. So looking at the first problem that they give us, they want us to find the equivalent expression using the same bases. So this is them again saying, hey, don't put this in the calculator and tell us what the answer is. Use the rule that we just talked about. So if we look, we've got two separate bases, and we've got an exponent here. The exponent for the 78 and the 44, they both have an exponent of 1. So all they want us to do is practice distributing that to the second power to the inside of those exponents. So whenever I type in my answer, I'm going to type in 78, and then use the to the button that they give me there, to the second power, and then I need a times, and they give you a times right there, times, and then the second base is going to be 40. Nope, it still has me as a to the, so I'm going to back up, and then there we go. Now it's got me down on the same level. So times, and then I'm doing 44, and then I need to the, and then second power again. And that's how you type those in. So just be careful to make sure that things are on the level that they're supposed to be on. But there's my 78 times 44, both of them to the second power. So looking at the next one, they give you another one where you can practice, and it's going to be the same thing all over again. And you'll notice that my writing from the last slide actually matches up beautifully for this slide. So we've got 76 times 49. Both of those are to the first exponent. So we've got the 7 exponent on the outside, and we would distribute that exponent to the one on the inside and do 7 times 1 and 7 times 1. And my answer would be 76 to the 7th power times 49 to the 7th power. And that's what I would type in there. Looking at the next problem. Again, it's another problem having us practice the same thing. You're going to take that exponent of a 5 and you're going to distribute to everything on the inside. and then have 50 to the fourth times, 50 to the fifth, my bad, times 40 to the fifth. And that's what I would type in for my answer there. Looking at the next slide, they've started to switch things up on us. Instead of them giving us all the things, they're asking us to come up with one of the things. So we need to figure out what number, so whatever this is going to be to the 8th power, using that rule where we were looking at a times b to the, and I don't remember exactly the numbers that they use, but that's what we're looking at. And we're looking at breaking it up and distributing it. So a to the nth times b to the nth. So we need to go and figure out what number multiplies to make 75. So what number times 25 will give us 75? The easiest way that I found to do these in the quickest is just take that 75 divided by 25. 75 divided by 25, just double checking in the calculator, is going to be 3 to the 8th power. So you're going to want to just go and type in 3 to the, need my keyboard back, 8th power. And there we go. So once again, what I did to do that was I have 75 to the 8th is equal to 25 to the 8th times what? The exponents have to be the same, so that's why I've got to the 8th there, and then I just need to figure out 25 times what number is going to give us 75. So I took the number that we're trying to make, the 75, divided by the number that they gave us, 25, and 75 divided by 25 gave us 3, so that makes it be 3 to the 8th power. All right, looking at the next one. Simplify the expression, enter the correct answer. This is a distribute that exponent to the other exponents that are on the inside. So I've got a m squared times n to the 4th to the second exponent. So that 2 needs distributed to all of the exponents on the inside. So if I show on my work, I'm going to have m to the second power, which is what I started with, times 2, which was the exponent on the inside, times n to the 4th power times 2. And if I simplify, I'm going to have m to the 4th times n to the 8th. And you would just type that in right there. And looking at the last one that they've got for us, it's another one where we've got x squared times y to the 5th to the 3rd power. There is only multiplication going on inside the set of parentheses, so I can distribute this exponent to the other exponents that are inside. So I'll take my x squared and I'll multiply it times that exponent that was on the outside 3 times y to the 5th times that exponent that was on the outside 3. So I would end up with x to the 6th, y to the 15th. And notice I'm not putting any multiplication sign between those two. Whenever I would type those in, I'll just go ahead and type it in with you. I've got x to the 6th, and then y to the 15th. And there you go. So that'll do all of our practice problems, I think, that they give us for this section. Yeah. If you've got any questions or you need some extra help, feel free to email Ms. Schaefer or I, or pop in during our live office hours. The links are available in the spreadsheet. I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care.